Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Travis. Today we're going to be working on the 300-gallon reef, and more specifically removing this sand from the sump Refugium here. And before we get into that and show you the whole process and go through the whole thing, I want to explain why I'm deciding to remove the sand after about 2.5 years. I don't know, this system's been up for about 2.5 years, something like that. And yeah, so first things first, there's about a 3-inch sand bed down here. Again, it would be nice to have Scott here so we can measure that accurately, but yeah. Guys, I'm just busting Scott's balls, man. He's just not here, and I like messing with him, so you know, get all butthurt about it. But anyway, I want to remove the sand bed for a couple reasons. One, it looks disgusting, which is not a horrible deal given the rest of the sump is pretty dirty, but it just looks like crap. It looks just, you know, not appealing, and the Chato's not rotating, and it just, you know, it could look better than what it looks like. Second reason, which is actually the most important reason, is that I'm starting to get a little bit of a nutrient spike in the tank, and when something like that happens, I start kind of looking into everything that I'm doing. So of course there's a process of elimination. We check the water, we check our feeding habits, we check what we're dosing to the tank. And the only thing that I can think of is that there's a ton of detritus, which when I removed the macroalgae a little while ago, I saw that there was a ton of detritus built up on the top of the sand bed, which could be something that would leach back into the system and cause some issues with some excess nitrates and phosphates. So for the sake of trying to process that and going through the entire setup and trying to figure out what actually might be causing it, this really is the only thing that's left on the list. So in this video, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to remove the remove the macroalgae, which is Chato, from the Refugium, and then we're going to come over here with the shop vac, this little bucket, 5-gallon bucket shop vac. We're going to attach the 3D printed, I guess we're going to call it extension for the shop vac, and then we'll get in here and suck out all this stuff. I think that would be the easiest way to do that. Now what's really good about this sump is I don't actually have to turn off the entire system. I can just go over here and turn this ball valve, which then goes over to the chiller, which then dumps back into the Refugium. So I really don't need to turn off the system, which is nice. And of course we have 30 gallons of water ready to go, 1.026, which then we will dump back into the system, which then will fill up the Refugium when we turn the ball valve on. So that's pretty much the process. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so let's go to get started by removing the Chato from the Refugium. Now I'm just going to pull it out, put it in this 5-gallon bucket, which I just cleaned out here, rinsed it with some RODI, and yeah, it's just going to sit in there. Now I do have several orders that I'm going to be filling today for Chato, so we definitely won't have to put all this back in here. It does grow pretty quickly now. I guess one benefit to having the excess nutrients is that the Chato really does grow well, and that's something I will monitor. Once we remove the sand, is I will definitely keep an eye on the nitrates and phosphates, and just in case there's any issues. Of course, this sand also offers beneficial bacteria, which is something that I'm going to have to take into consideration as well. There isn't a ton of surface area, but there is, you know, quite a bit in here. I've got some bristleworms in this, not too many, but enough to be a problem. So I'm going to try to get those out of here. Yeah, not too bad though. It's just one of those things, I guess. But anyway, this is pretty good. There's a little bit left at the bottom, nothing too crazy. Yeah, the rest of that's kind of just enough to get sucked up with the shop vac, and it's just kind of broken up and crumbly and stuff. So, but anyway, gonna go ahead and grab the attachment here for the shop vac. We're gonna turn off that ball valve, and we're gonna just start sucking all this crap out. Okay, so the ball valve is turned off, so essentially we just have an empty chamber here. There's no water flowing back into the return section, so we can safely stir up the sand, mix it up, or remove all this stuff. And then my goal is to just remove all of the water from this, so there isn't any worry about the denitrifying bacteria or any of that stuff getting back into the main display tank. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Of course, we have our attachment here for the shop vac, and it just goes on right there. And we're gonna get started. I am gonna just do the first bucket. It's on video here, and then I'm going to fast forward everything else because it's gonna be a process. That's all. So let's get started. All right, so that's the first 5-gallon bucket, and you can see that it did pretty good. once this water's out of here, obviously the water's going to be completely out before the sand is. We might not have to make as many trips, and we'll see how the shop vac does. So let me go ahead and dump this out. Alright, so I just got done removing all the sand, and it was a pretty easy process with the shop vac. Now, of course, I made a mess. That's pretty normal for anything that I do here in the fish room. And as you can see, it's pretty empty. So now I've already started adding some of that new water to the system here. So we're just going to go ahead and turn it back on. Oop, missed it. Not paying attention. And then come over here and turn the ball valve. I'm just going to turn it all the way up for now, just for the sake of filling it up. I usually dial it back about halfway. And yeah, we'll let it fill up. And then just keep an eye on the, of course, the return section. Once it gets down around 8, I will either turn it off, wait for it to continue to fill up, or I'll just make sure that the ATO is not going to kick on, and then we'll be good to go. So we're going to let this fill up, and we'll be right back. All right, now that we got the Refugium full and running as normal, let's go ahead and get in there and clean out just the side there, make it look a little bit better. So let's see, this is made for glass, but it should work fine here. Yeah, it works good. And this is the glass cleaner that you can find on the website if you are so interested. Comes in a couple different sizes. Let's go here and make it look decent. Now there is a little bit of stylophora. Hopefully you guys can see that here. I'm going to try to get some of this off. It's been growing in the sump for a long time. Not going to go crazy on it. It's not hurting anything. It's more of an eyesore. Okay, so we're good with this. Looks decent. Alright, so at this point, I'm just going to go ahead and go through the macroalgae. There are a little bit of bristleworms in there, so I'm just going to get them out of there and kind of start fresh. So. Hey, what's up everyone? So it's been about 4 days since I removed the sand from the Refugium here in the Geo sump, and you guys saw the whole process. It was relatively easy. We just disconnected or turned off the Refugium, let the main display run here because it is a separate chamber, and then just pretty much pulled everything out with the shop vac. It was pretty easy. I wanted to wait a couple days just to see if there was any kind of ill effects on the tank, maybe polyp extension, dropping elk, or any issues, but yeah, there was nothing. I really feel that having this chamber separated from the system and making it easy just to remove it so none of that denitrifying bacteria gets released into the tank. Yeah, it was just an easy process, and kudos to Geo for having this set up, right? But anyways, other than that, when it comes to Refugium, I do grow just Chaeto in here. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but it's just Chaeto, and I do dose Brightwell Aquatics Chaeto Grow about once per week, and it's doing pretty good. What's up, dude? Want to say hi? I just gave him a bath. He's not happy about that, but he started smelling like wet dog. Now he's cleaner smelling wet dog. But anyway, other than that, it looks better. Granted, there is just a little bit of detritus on the bottom, but I can just siphon that out during a water change. And hello? what's up, dude? Just give me just 2 seconds here. And yeah, so pretty easy process. And yeah, that's about it. No reason to keep going on the video. But yeah, one last look at the sump and the dog. Yes, hello, hello. That's it, guys. So I hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, let me know. And we will see you later. All right, peace.